A 92-year-old man went to his local Bank of America to make a withdrawal, but when the teller saw his ID was expired, they told him they couldn't help him. He got upset, and eventually bank managers called the police to remove him from the premises. When the officer showed up, though, not a single person could believe what he did to the old man. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. A police officer from California has warmed the hearts of people all across the country after what he did for an elderly man who had been kicked out of a local Bank of America. Officer Robert Josette received a call from the bank about a 92-year-old man who was reportedly causing a scene. The elderly man was agitated after trying to withdraw money from his account. He had encountered trouble doing so because his ID was expired. Without proper identification, the bank was unable to process the old man's request to withdraw his money. However, he didn't understand why the teller was refusing to help him. As a result, the elderly man grew upset and caused a commotion. When Officer Josette arrived on the scene and learned what was happening, he decided to do something a bit unconventional. The cop decided he wouldn't simply escort the old man out of the bank. Instead, he helped him in a way that has since gone viral. Instead of asking the old man to leave the premises, Officer Josette took matters into his own hands. He drove the man to the DMV to get a new ID, but his act of kindness didn't stop there. The officer then took the old man back to the Bank of America location so that he could withdraw his money as originally intended. Afterward, the Montebello Police Department posted a photo of Josette and the elderly man on Facebook, capturing the attention of thousands. The post quickly went viral, and the story was picked up by news outlets nationwide, spreading the heartwarming tale even further. "This officer is a saint," commented one person on the police department's Facebook post. "All this little grandpa wants is to keep his independence, and the officer helped him in a dignified manner. Good job, officer." "Heart-touching, and I love that the officer was able to get him in and out of the DMV so quickly," joked another. "That alone is medal-worthy." "This is beautiful," wrote someone elsewhere. "We need more stories like this to show the people that not all police officers are bad and that they go above and beyond their regular duties to help everyone. We often hear only bad news of officers. We can't judge everyone the same," agreed another. "Officer Robert Josette, thank you so much for helping this elderly man. It could have been my father or grandfather. God bless you, and thank you for your service." Anyone with an elderly parent or grandparent can likely relate to the situation this old man found himself in. At 92 years old, you're simply not as sharp as you used to be, so something like an expired ID can really throw you off, especially when it's preventing you from accessing your own money. This old man only needed to be shown some kindness and a bit of patience. Officer Josette showed him both and turned out to be his guardian angel. The people of Montebello, California, are certainly lucky to have such a compassionate officer protecting them. As stories of the officer's kind act spread, more people started sharing similar experiences of unexpected kindness from police officers, highlighting the often unseen, positive impacts law enforcement can have on individuals and communities. This narrative served as a poignant reminder that behind the badge, many officers are dedicated to serving and protecting their communities in ways that go beyond just enforcing the law. In a time where news can often focus on negative events, stories like this help to restore faith in humanity and highlight the importance of empathy and compassion in everyday life. Officer Josette's actions are a powerful example of how a little bit of kindness can go a long way in making a significant difference in someone's life. The story of Officer Josette and the elderly man is a testament to the fact that sometimes all it takes is one person willing to go the extra mile to change the course of someone's day, or even their life. It's a call to action for all of us to look for opportunities to help others in our own ways, no matter how small those actions may seem. This act of kindness by Officer Josette resonated with so many because it broke the mold of what we might expect in such situations. Too often we hear about confrontations that escalate, leading to negative outcomes. However, Officer Josette chose a path of compassion and understanding, which diffused a potentially volatile situation and turned it into a heartwarming story of human connection. As the elderly man left the DMV with his new ID, one can only imagine the relief and gratitude he must have felt. In a world that can often seem cold and bureaucratic, Officer Josette's actions were a reminder that there are still people who care enough to help those in need, even when it's not their job to do so. This small act of kindness not only allowed the elderly man to access his money, but also restored his faith in humanity and provided him with a sense of dignity and respect. The ripple effect of Officer Josette's actions extended far beyond the old man and the bank that day. The story touched hearts nationwide, inspiring others to perform their own acts of kindness. It reminded us that, regardless of our roles in society, we all have the capacity to make a positive impact on the lives of others. In communities across the country, police officers and other public servants have challenging jobs that require them to balance authority with empathy. Officer Josette's story serves as a shining example of how this balance can be achieved. By taking the time to understand the old man's predicament and going out of his way to help, Josette not only solved the immediate problem, but also set a powerful example for his colleagues and the broader community. The Montebello Police Department's Facebook post continued to gain traction, with thousands of shares and comments. People from all walks of life expressed their admiration and gratitude for Officer Josette's actions. The story was even featured on local news channels and national morning shows, where Josette was interviewed about his decision to help the elderly man. During these interviews, Josette remained humble, insisting that he was just doing his job and that anyone in his position would have done the same. His humility only added to the admiration people felt for him. Officer Josette's actions also sparked discussions about the broader role of police in communities. Many people saw his act of kindness as a model for community policing, where officers are seen as helpers and protectors, not just enforcers of the law. This perspective emphasized the importance of building trust and positive relationships between law enforcement and the communities they serve. In conclusion, Officer Robert Josette's decision to help the 92-year-old man renew his ID and access his bank account was an extraordinary act of kindness that had a profound impact. It serves as a reminder that empathy and compassion can transform ordinary situations into extraordinary moments of human connection. As we navigate our own lives, let us take inspiration from Officer Josette's example and strive to extend kindness and understanding to those around us, making the world a better place, one act at a time. The legacy of this small act of kindness will undoubtedly continue to inspire and remind us all of the power we have to make a difference in the lives of others.